Good evening. Welcome to the live. Gonna be real quick and get out of the way. Shateka Husser coming to you all the way from drum roll, South Carolina today. All right, so I want to talk to you about partnerships that pays, and I want to give you a few announcements. Partnerships that pays. So I want to give you an opportunity to work with us at Hustle Financial Solutions. Today was a huge day. We had quite a bit going on with client. And at the end of the day, our goal was to make sure that we serve at the highest level. And we cannot serve at the highest level. And we cannot serve the clients that we have without partnerships. And so today we have been able to literally secure 5 contracts just by one partnership. And so if you're looking for some Christmas money, some fourth quarter money, additional revenue, certainly partner with us because we are paying. This particular partner will receive a nice 4-figure check from us just for sending us someone to serve. And our goal is just to help serve qualified individuals, right? We want to serve more qualified people. And when I say qualified to work with us because they're a good fit for us, okay? We don't discriminate. We work with all. I've learned how to be a base and how to be a bound, but in every state, I've learned how to serve all people. But they still have to be qualified. They still have to have something for me to work with. And so this particular partner has helped me several times. And today, I was able to work with a client couple that she sent to me. And so to God be the glory for what he's doing with partnerships. And so we have figured a way to be able to pay, our partners, because at the end of the day, we would not have been able to reach them without you. And so we thank all our partners today because September has started extremely strong today by just that one conversation in that meeting today. We were able to, by lunchtime, write a couple applications with 3 more on the way tomorrow, just by that one call, that one sitting. So we are excited to help more people because we want to get people in the right products. Unfortunately, a lot of people are in the wrong products or improperly structured products. And at the end of the day, it's doing them a disservice. And so there's some mistakes that can be made in purchasing certain products. But our goal really is to help you retire before you expire. So that's what you desire and what you aspire. We are the ones that you hire. Our goal really is to get your bank account on fire with a whole lot of lifetime tax-free retirement income that you will not outlive. And so we were able to design some incomes today as part of that, the many different products that we were able to secure today just through that one partnership. And so if you're looking for an additional stream of income, we want to make sure that you know that you're more than welcome to join us in this journey of helping people with move through financial security with peace of mind and a retirement plan in place. We do have a retirement plan that we're talking a little bit more about that many people may not have heard about, but it's really a 5-year catch-up plan. The right individual for that will be someone that has, of course, a 6-figure income or a household combined 6-figure income. And they could literally, this is actually the one retirement plan that pays the most of all the different plans that we have. But we don't talk about it because a lot of people don't qualify with at least a 6-figure income. Basically, you're just contributing for 5 years and you're done with your retirement account. It is a 15-year wait. In other words, you pay for 5 years, and there's some other things that's happening for the next 10 years. But at the end of that 15-year period, we haven't seen, and we crunched the numbers, any other product that will outpace or outrun this, right? In other words, there's no annuity, there's nothing else out there that's going to give you pretty much a solid, high end income, 5 to 6 figure income in retirement. And so that's what we're talking about when we say that it just runs circles around any other product that's out there, but you just have to qualify with that kind of income. And so when you hear things like IUL, you probably haven't heard of this type. And this one is the one that's on steroids. And you have to be qualified and be able to, in other words, you have to be able to be an agent that could actually articulate and communicate this sophisticated product because it is very, very sophisticated. Now, with that being said, I want to move on to the fact that it is the first of the month and it is, of course, Labor Day. And we have, because we've been so busy first of the month, we didn't get to really get our sale out, but we do have a sale for you. We do have a bundle for you. In other words, you can get our retirement planning bundle once $77.97 now on sale for the next 24 hours. You heard me. The next 24 hours by midnight tomorrow, you can pay $50 for this this amount, right? So it's like a bundle. It has quite a bit in there. I want to make sure that I don't do it any injustice and really kind of tell you what is in there. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. And then just kind of go through what it is that you'll be getting with that bundle, because it is a very good bundle. Now, the only place you can get this is on Shateka Husser Financial, because we really want to grow that page on Instagram. Go to Shateka Husser Financial. And when you go there, that's the only link at Shateka Husser Financial on Instagram only. Click on that link and you'll be able to purchase it for 50 bucks. Okay. Now, listen, what you're going to get with this, I'm clicking on it right now because we have quite a bit on my link. Let's get here. All right, it's coming up. All right, so you get the early retirement decision toolkit, which includes the quickly, you're going to be able to quickly assess if early retirement suits you, using a detailed evaluation framework, calculating the financial impact with ease, planning your timeline and avoiding pitfalls, and navigating annuity options with confidence. You're going to get the tax-free income generation. You'll be able to see the passive income streams that minimize or eliminate tax burden. You'll be able to implement strategies that provide tax-free lifetime income, setting up proper account structures that maximize after-tax returns, understanding how different retirement vehicles impact taxes. You'll be able to get the long-term financial plan. In other words, you'll be able to see how to protect your assets against market volatility and economic uncertainty, creating sustainable withdrawal strategies that won't deplete savings, avoiding common mistakes that jeopardize retirement funds, and building diversified income sources for stable retirement funding. You'll also be able to see the healthcare and long-term care planning. And that's going to allow you to be able to protect assets and optimize your potential long-term care needs, avoiding financial devastation from unexpected medical challenges, understanding insurance options that protect against healthcare costs, and integrate healthcare planning into the overall retirement strategy finances. You also receive the tax reduction strategy guide, keeping more money in your pocket, 6 legal tax minimization strategies, state-specific tax considerations included, efficient withdrawal and estate planning tools that you'll be able to use. And then also you'll be able to receive the 6 best and worst retirement decisions guide. Learn from real life retirement case studies, decision-making framework for key choices, timeline recommendations for critical actions, and avoiding costly mistakes by learning from others. You also receive the one by itself, which is our credit mastery for personal and business formation. If you wanted to start your new business, you were thinking about doing a business, you get basically it's going to be an ebook that has both the personal and the business credit mastery. Personal and business credit mastery and business formation. That alone is $127. That alone, and you're getting all this for 50 bucks. Okay. In addition to that, you'll get some white papers to help you understand how to avoid your retirement mistakes. So all of that for $50. Somebody say $50. There's a reason why it's 50. 50 is a good number. All right. And so basically by midnight tomorrow, you can pay 50 bucks and receive all of those different tools to help you with your retirement planning strategy. All right. So I'm excited about that. And again, the partnership, if you want to partner with us, just DM the word partnership over at Shateka Husser Financial, and we will be in touch with you. Give us 24 hours at least to be able to get back with you. And we'll see how you can partner with us by the way of, making sure that we can help more people. Now, I want to make sure that I have something else here. Okay. I wanted to say that there is someone out, of course, that is imitating me, Shateka Husser Trades. If you can go to Shateka Husser FX Trade, I already have it on there. Either way, if you go and you type in Shateka Husser, the FX, like basically the trading person is not me. And I used to trade back in 2017 through 2021 on the side. It was fun. It was exciting. I had led a team of about 16 people at the time. And, it took up a lot of my time. So I decided to kind of pivot away from that. And I no longer do that. But There's somebody that's saying that that's what I'm still doing, and that's not me. So if you could, please report them. Please report them. Please do me the favor, and then just DM me and let me know that you did that, and I can thank you so much for helping me out with that, because I don't need anybody to imitate who I am. I don't do that to other people, and no one should be doing that to me. There's only one Shateka Husser in the world, and so definitely go there and do that for me. I would appreciate that. I believe that is all of my announcements for now. God is good. He's doing a lot behind the scenes, whether you see me on social media or not. But today, I just want to talk a little bit about, just by way of giving more value. I want to definitely do something. I want to teach you something, and that's probably going to be primarily the IUL. A lot of people are looking at the IUL now. It has a lot of buzz with it, but there's still a lot of people that haven't heard of the IUL, like the person that I've talked to today. Um, and the IUL is simply an index universal life policy that provides you literally a comprehensive solution as it relates to looking for how it is that you're going to be able to retire with peace of mind and financial security. It is really a product that is not for everyone. The right person that you speak to is going to make sure that you provide them a needs analysis. And in that needs analysis, they're going to see if you financially stable to be able to even get into that product. If someone sells you an IUL and they didn't ask you for your financials, they are a salesperson. They are not an advisor. Okay. They're not a fiduciary. They're not responsible for making sure that it's in your best and most suitable interests. And that's really what we're about today. And so what we do, part of our process, is to make sure that you provide us your needs analysis, and we deep dive to see if that's going to be a good fit for you. And sometimes it's not a good fit, and we tell people, but they still want it, because when we educate them on all of the different benefits of it, they still want it, even though it's not a good fit. Because when I say not a good fit, this is not a type of product that you can just not fund properly. You need to fund it properly. It needs to be structured properly. A lot of things have to happen properly in order for it to work. If not, it will not work for you, and it could be your worst nightmare. And some people have given it a bad name because there's been others that have not properly structured it for the client, or the client didn't properly fund it, and it lapsed. Okay, it lapsed. And so if you can't afford it, you don't need to be in it. You need to be more like a whole life or something like that. Even though the whole life is more expensive, you can at least go back in there and get your money out. You cannot do that with an IUL. You have to wait anywhere from 10 to 13 years to get 100% of your cash value, depending on which carrier it is. Okay, depending on which carrier it is. And so that's very important to understand and know. Now, with all that being said, you need to understand, what can this IUL do for me? Well, it could actually give you what's called a lifetime income benefit, right? In other words, you get income. You can have a structure to be able to give you that income, and it's going to be tax free. It's not going to be something that you're going to have to pay for in terms of taxes, as long as you fund it properly. And there's two things that you're going to have to make sure that you do, but as it relates to how it is that you're going to maintain your IUL. Number one, you're going to have to put the right amount of money in there. Okay, you're going to not put too much in there and treat it like an investment and create what's called a red flag to the IRS, because you're treating it like an investment. It is not an investment. People like to refer to it as an investment, but it is not an investment. It's simply a product that's going to allow you to be able to contribute to it and compound and make money for you while you're sleeping. Now I'm going to get into the benefits. It is going to allow you to have a greater cash flow, because it's going to grow for you while you're sleeping, just like a stock, or you having some type of real estate or anything like that. It's going to grow, right? As long as you fund it, it's going to grow. So cash flow is one of the benefits of it. The second benefit of it would be, of course, that you have an emergency fund, but only for part of the cash value. And it would have to be structured for an emergency fund. There are IULs that you can structure like a whole life policy, where you can have access sooner than later. We highly discourage you from doing that. We want you to use that more like a long-term plan versus a short-term plan, like a whole life policy. But that component would be definitely for you, say, down the line, because as the years progress, you have more and more access to the cash value. The cash value access grows. Let's say the first year you only have, let's just say 10%. The second year you have 20. By year 10, you have 100%, up to year 13, depending on which carrier you have. Then you have full access to all of your cash value. So you don't have access to all of so it's not as liquid as the whole life policy. So that's what you need to understand about that. So it could be cash flow, all right, compounding while you're sleeping, all right, emergency plan for you at some point, And of course, debt pay off, right? In other words, you can go in, take the money out of the IUL, pay off your debt 100%, not have to be stressed, not have to worry, because the money is still going to compound in the background, even though you have it out as a loan. So if you don't pay it back, it just comes off the death benefit. So let's say you have $1 million IUL, $600 IUL, and you take out $100,000 to pay off some debt. Oh, well, the beneficiary just won't receive that if you never pay back, because the person that was asking today, oh, what happens if I pay? I mean, this person had like over $2 million, right, in their death benefit, and this cash value that's growing like about a million by the time she wants to stop paying it back. Like, you don't have to pay the $100,000 back. That's just $100,000 they won't receive out of the 2.4 million that you have. So at the end of the day, you really want to understand that you can leverage paying down debt with any permanent cash value policy, but we highly discourage it in an IUL. We encourage it more with a whole life, because a whole life is guaranteed not to lapse, right? So at the end of the day, yes, that's the difference between those two, as it relates to that. Now, long term, the IUL, historically speaking, and past results on equal future results, has absolutely been compounding and making double digits in some cases, and through some carriers, in terms of how they've been able to give returns. Okay, so their returns are pretty attractive long term, based on which carriers and the indexes that they actually credit your account by, because they use different indexes to credit your account, even though your money is not in the market. So the great thing about it is that it's protecting your money three different ways: your 401k, your TSP, your IRA, your Roth IRA. All of those accounts can go down because of market volatility, but the IUL will never go down as it relates to market volatility. Your money is protected from market loss 100%. So we had people coming to us during the pandemic, people challenged, crying. You heard about people committing suicide. They lost 50-70% of their money because of what happened during the pandemic. And let's say another pandemic comes in another couple, 3 years, 5 years, or whatever. Shucks, we in the pandemic, so to speak, with what's going on in the economy right now, with different fluctuations with what's happening with our politics. But either way, let's just say something happens and you lose funds. Well, at the end of the day, this account is the one account that gives people their peace of mind. So if you have a low risk tolerance, an index universal life policy does not allow you to lose money. Warren Buffett says rule number one was to never lose money. They asked him, okay, Warren Buffett, thank you, you're a billionaire. Tell us what rule number two is. He said, go back to rule number one and never lose money. So at the end of the day, he's telling you not to lose money. This is an ideal product to not lose money. So that's why it's attractive for a lot of people, a lot of millionaires, a lot of people that are wealthy. And then number two, you protect your money from lawsuits. You have your money in these other types of accounts, and your money's not protected from lawsuits. They cannot see what's inside of your IUL. O.J. Simpson was able to keep his money because it was inside of his permanent cash value policy. And so if you're looking for lawsuit protection, a permanent cash value policy is the way to go. They were excited when I told them that today as well. The other thing is, you can protect your money from taxation. Your money grows without having to be taxed, as long as you follow the two rules we talked about earlier. Not putting too much money in, and not taking out money in a withdrawal. Okay, taking out a lot of withdrawals, treating it like an investment. Those things will create a red flag. So at 11:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got on here and we put a link inside the bio over on Shateka Husser Financial on Instagram. When you go to that link in bio, you're going to see that you have access to our bundle, our retirement planning bundle. And it talks about different things like the, permanent cash value policy. It talks about, the IUL. It talks about annuities, index annuities, different things, different mistakes that people make as it relates to retirement. It gives you a retirement planning guide, checklist guide. It gives you, how to build your personal and business credit, and even establish a business, and how to properly formulate your business in retirement. All right. And it talks about long-term care. So the biggest challenge that a lot of people that are wealthy I should say, is long-term care. Right. And so one of the things when we think about long-term care is about your aging parents. What happens when your aging parents has to go into a facility? Is that going to drain your retirement account? How about if your spouse has to go into a facility? People are having dementia as early as 40 and 50 years old now. It's early stages of dementia. And if they have to go into a facility, are you going to have to, you know, stop working to take care of them? I have pay somebody to work to help them, or you're going to have some type of, death benefit on them that's going to be able to be accelerated and be used while they're living, so it doesn't drain your retirement account. So these are some things that people don't think about, but 70% or more people, 70-75% of people will need a retirement. They will need a long-term care plan on themselves or their loved ones, because shucks, that's how many people 65 years old or older and even younger are needing a long-term care plan. And we all know that to put somebody in, say, a nursing home or some type of facility is about six figures a year. Depending on what part of the states you're in, what the states, the United States of America you're in, you could pay $13,000 a month easy just to have somebody in facility care. And so if you had a death benefit that, let's say, it's 2 million, 7 million, you accelerate that, that's going to help sustain them and allow you to still be able to work without draining your retirement account. And so these are some of the things that we want to protect you. Make sure that you're competing with inflation. It talks about inflation and annuities, and how annuities today, you get right now, we have annuity partners that's up to 50% bonus money. If you transfer your 401k, your TSP, your IRA, you will get up to 50% bonus money on top of what you currently have saved. But sometimes those bonuses don't mount to a hill of beans. Sometimes it's better to not even take the bonus and just go with the accumulation annuity. It just depends on what's going on, what your age is. There's a lot of different factors, but you wouldn't know that until you consult with a professional. So today, I'm not giving you any financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I am simply giving you some education, some information on different products, strategies, and things that people are using in order to be able to pivot into retirement with peace of mind and financial security. And so, preservation of your wealth, building a legacy, in terms of financial legacy, because we all know that the bigger legacy is what you leave in a person, not necessarily just what you leave for a person. So what are you leaving in, let's say your children or your godchildren, versus what are you leaving for them? Because if you don't leave anything in them, they may not be able to sustain what you leave for them. They need to understand financial literacy, understand how to do money, things of that nature, because leaving it for them and not in them is not going to help them a bit. So, but our goal really is to help you with, strategy, pivoting. People come to us with all kind of problems. They're starting late. We wish we'd have found you 10 years, 20 years ago. And it's our goal to take the stress away from having to plan for retirement, and really see what they have and giving them a strategy that benefits them, not us. Because that's the thing about us. We do work with integrity. We don't position you to pay us for a commission. We position you to win. And sometimes that means that, we're not going to get paid as much. That's why we started doing consultation fees. All right. But for people that's just looking to get information and they're not looking to take any action, they just want a consultation, we have a consultation fee. All right. And so if you want to know what that is, you can definitely reach out to us. But it's definitely a consultation fee involved if you're just looking for information, because we provide a lot of free education and have provided a lot of free education live with conferences and Clubhouse. I mean, you name it, Zooms, we got master classes, we got a lot of different things. So if you want our time on top of that, and you know that you're not looking, we certainly can help you with that. And we can help you with a strategy. Right now, it is $9.97 because we go and we look throughout to find out the best carrier for you, because we have access to over 25 A-rated carriers. We have access to that. We already know which ones are the ones that we use for different people based on what they have going on. The carrier that I am that's more sophisticated in terms of what we have right now will actually upgrade you, so that, let's say, if you're standard rating because of your build, for example, you're overweight, they're actually upgrading you to a preferred or preferred plus. They did that to one of my clients. He's a preferred plus, and he actually is, has a heavier build. But at the end of the day, we know which carriers can help you with whatever you have going on and what challenges that you may have. And it's not enough time to be able to go through all of that. But that's what differentiates us from our competitors, is that we actually educate you. We don't sell you. We actually use a needs analysis. We don't just sell you a product. We got to know that is a good fit for you before we get you into that product. I had a negative net worth young lady come to me, meaning that she owes more money out than she has in assets, and I was concerned. But she said, "Okay, I know I can do this." She's saying she's gonna turn over a new leaf, but I'm letting her know, listen, your habits have to change with money. Like, you have to have a different relationship with money, in order to own an IUL. This is not the product for people that have a negative bank account, right? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so we just want to educate her. I was concerned because that was the first time I had ever submitted someone with a negative net worth to this particular carrier. And I guess because my track record, they accepted her. They allowed her to do it. I put a case before them, and she was able to get an IUL. Up to her to fund it properly. I've already given her a warning order. Excuse me. And of course, I everything recorded. Everything's recorded, right? So anyway, I just wanted to get on here real quick. I spent way more time than I wanted to spend. It's 25 minutes, and I gotta definitely get some other information out. And if you want to reach out to us, you can go to Shateka.com. I've been having challenges updating that link for some reason. But if you go to Husser Financial Solutions on Instagram, I should say Shateka Husser Financial is what it is. Shateka Husser Financial on Instagram, the one that has the actual logo. There is a link in there where you can get our bundle for Labor Day through midnight tomorrow for $50. You'll never see that low. But go ahead and grab that. And we do a compatibility call at no cost just to see if we're compatible. You can go to Shateka.com and, click on that link and then schedule something, and we can see if we are able to work together that way. We want to help more people, but we want to help the right people, people that are able to make a decision, people that are, definitely serious about moving forward with some type of plan and taking action. Because today was a day of a lot of action, massive action, by our clients that we were able to help on the first of this month. So God bless you. We will see you at the top because you belong there. And this live is going to be closing down. God bless you. Let's see.